So an update, 2022 S1s and non-lucrative visa applications. Okay, so where are we at the beginning of the year 2022 and what has happened in the past and how have we got to where we've got to. So last year, as we know, 2021 was a turbulent year for non-lucrative visa applications. Right at the beginning of the year, the requirements across the board for Edinburgh, Manchester and London were completely different. They just making it up as they were going along, it seemed. Then we had a crazy summer where everybody seemed to shut down and they were overloaded with student visas. And then going into the winter, they opened up again. London started a new booking system for the appointments. Manchester have been absolutely ace. Edinburgh as well. Have been really good at booking appointments but take forever to issue the visas. So we know that it's been a very turbulent time, but how does this relate to the S1 forms? Well, the S1 forms initially they told us from the consulates that they had to be pre-registered in Spain to be valid. When you pre-register a S1 in Spain, you actually receive a certificate to say that you are on the healthcare system, and that is what they were looking for. Okay, evidently you cannot pre-register an S1 until you have residency. So by default it meant that every single person who went for a non-lucrative visa had to get private healthcare. Okay, that was the situation all the way up to around September last year. So it was a chicken and egg situation that led to the default of having to get private healthcare. What's the problem with private healthcare? Well, there's people who have very healthy, but and could qualify for an S1, but maybe it's small minor because their age can't get health care, or maybe I know somebody who had cancer 15 years ago and they're struggling for the health care, but they're absolutely, they did it, they got through it, and they're very healthy now, but they're still struggling. So it really was not helping people who were struggling to get health care, because obviously if you come into Spain and you're retired, big demographic of those people are older people. So yeah. Anyway, what is the update then with the S1s? Well, late last year, we're always emailing politely the consulates. We never get anything back from London. But the reason I'm doing this update is because we had some news from an application that went through the other day. And Manchester and Edinburgh do get back to us on email. And they both confirmed late last year that an S1 form is fine for a non-lucrative visa application. So it can replace just the S1 private healthcare if you have it. Okay, they've confirmed that in writing. Okay, now I know that London yesterday accepted an S1 form instead of private healthcare for somebody. What I'm yet to see, and I'll do an update video, is how immigration accept them. So we know that there's two parts to a non-lucrative visa application. Well, there's many parts, but the first two parts are you've got to get your documents accepted by the consulate. If the consulate accept the documents, they send them off to immigration. Immigration then have to accept it and send back authorization to the consulate to give you your visa. So what we know now is that the consulates will set them for that first part of the process. They're going to send them off to immigration. Hopefully in about a month or 2 months' time, or if you know somebody who's already got one back using S1, please write in the comments below. We will know that the immigration authorities here in Spain are accepting them for healthcare. What we know is that the consulates are at the moment. So that is good news. Again, as I said on the video, if you watch the channel, please sign up to the channel. If you know anybody who's using S1 and they've been approved, please let us know. This has only been recent for us. Most of our clients, to be honest, have private healthcare. I'm going to explain why now. So they're not solely using the S1 form. Okay, what is the problems with using an S1 form for your non-lucrative visa application? The first problem is that you have to get the S1 sent to Spain. All right, the pensions authorities will not send them to the UK. And according to a client I spoke to yesterday, when they spoke to the pensions authorities, you have to order them within 28 days of your expected arrival date in Spain. So basically you are going to lie, because by the time you've ordered it, it's come back and you've gone to the consulate and you've told the consulate your expected date, it's going to be over the 28 days. So anyway, you're going to have to get the pensions authorities to send your S1 to Spain and then get that S1 sent back to the UK, because you need the original S1 for your non-lucrative visa application. Right, what we don't know, again, I'll do an update video, is it's very well if you have a property in Spain and that is the property that you're using as your Spanish address over here, and it gets sent to that property, you get somebody to send it back to you. But if you don't have a property yet in Spain and you're using a correspondence address, if the address is different on the S1 maybe to the correspondence address, I don't know how they're going to react to that, but we will be able to tell you soon, because we're having some S1 sent here which people are going to be using. What are the other problems of the S1? Let me think. Okay, so the S1. If you get accepted with your S1 and you come to Spain, you don't immediately get your healthcare. It won't be a problem for registering your TIE card. You'll still be able to register your TIE card here. In fact, you have to register your TIE card to be able to register the S1. Here in Malaga at the moment, they're taking 3 to 4 months to register the S1s, and for them to come back with a document which you need to go to the healthcare centre to then receive your healthcare card to then go and see a doctor. So there could be a period, and if you do have health requirements, that you need private healthcare anyway, because even if you get an S1 accepted for your visa, you come to Spain, it's going to be 30 days more or less until you get your TIE card, minimum, because you've got to get your appointment, go through the appointment. We always book our pickup appointments for the TIE cards 45 days after the initial appointment to make sure they're there. And at that point, you then have to provide a padron, the S1, your passport, your TIE card, front and back, to the Social Security, whether it be digitally, online, if they have that sort of platform in your area like Malaga do, or you might have to book an appointment and submit those documents, and then wait for the approval to come through for healthcare. During that whole time, you don't have healthcare on the state system in Spain. You may be able to use your GHIC, which lasts for 90 days, but as soon as they see that you're a resident, that could be a problem as well. So, you know, you've got to be aware that that could be a period in which you don't have your healthcare in place. I always think, and I'm just going to offer a personal opinion now, if you can afford it, it's good to have the private healthcare in place for your application and for the first year while you're getting your ducks in a row with an S1. Okay, God forbid that the unthinkable happens and you need to go to hospital while your S1 is being registered. Nobody here in a state hospital is ever going to chuck you out, but you wouldn't want there to be any confusion if you're not registered with your S1, having a TIE card and a GHIC and getting a big bill from the state hospital. Just wouldn't want it. So, if it's unavoidable and your only way of getting healthcare for a non-lucrative visa is by getting an S1, then it looks like that is now a viable way and you can move forward with that. That said, and obviously there's minimum financial requirements for a non-lucrative visa. If you can afford private healthcare, even if it's just for that first year to get you through that initial registration with the S1 to get that certificate of state healthcare in your hand, I honestly think it's a good idea, because when you come into Spain you don't want to be stuck without healthcare. Okay then, so that's our update. Brilliant. Hopefully we'll have some more news on the S1s and then flying through for non-lucrative visa applications. But as I say, I honestly think that having healthcare, if you can afford it for the first year, is a good idea, because you know all eventualities can happen. So yes, we will please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. We give lots of updates regarding non-lucrative visas. Basically, our company Upsticks, I've explained before, we do a lot of residency applications, which at the moment it means a lot of non-lucrative visas, and we also deal with car registrations. These videos really come out of what happens to us on a daily basis, and information literally as we're working with clients, as we're going through things, as we're updating our processes, we get information, and I just think it's a good idea to share it on our channel, and hopefully even if it helps somebody who's not a client of ours, we've done a good thing. So yeah, brilliant. Keep watching and tune in to more videos.